Okay, so today I'll be talking about one of the greatest pieces of science fiction to ever come out of Japan, Akira. A science story that didn't just make waves, it completely transformed the medium of manga, and arguably animation too. Whether you're a massive manga fan or someone new to the medium, Akira is one of those titles that almost everyone in the community has heard of. And for good reason. Okay, I'll be moving on to the reading experience and formatting of Akira. Akira is a 6-volume manga series, and each volume clocks in at roughly 400 pages. So this isn't something you breeze through. The panels have aged beautifully, every background, every expression, every explosion is drawn to near perfection. It invites you to slow down and really take in the world that Otomo, who is the author, created. Now, I personally read the 35th anniversary box set of Akira, which in my opinion is by far the best way to experience it. This edition includes all 6 volumes as high quality hardcovers, and for the first and only time in English, it's printed in its original Japanese format, which is right to left. It's a collector's dream and honestly feels amazing to hold in your hands when you read it. If you collect physical manga, I'd highly recommend that you buy this. Okay, now let's talk about how the story unfolds, without spoilers, of course. First thing is how the story is told. One of the most unique things about Akira is how it jumps between different characters and perspectives. One moment you're following a character like Tetsuo, then suddenly you're with Kaneda. Then it might cut to a group of government officials or revolutionaries or scientists. It's not a single-threaded narrative. Despite this, somehow, Otomo makes it all work without it feeling chaotic or confusing, most of the time. This constant perspective shifting gives you a panoramic view of the world of Akira. You see it from the streets, from inside government offices, from secret labs, and from the minds of the people caught in between. It's a story that grows bigger and more intense with each volume. And while the manga focuses heavily on 2 core characters, it builds out a cast that feels incredibly alive, flawed, and human. They live in this world, which makes the story that much better. Now I'll be talking about the 2 primary characters of Akira. Akira is set in a post-catastrophic city called Neo-Tokyo, a futuristic gritty version of Tokyo, well, 1980s Tokyo that is, which is when the story was written. At the heart of Akira are 2 of the more compelling characters in the manga, Tetsuo and Kaneda. Kaneda is loud, impulsive, and full of angst. He's not what I'd call a hero exactly. He's flawed, reckless, and often acts before he thinks. But that's what makes him interesting. On the other hand, Tetsuo is far more brooding and emotionally unstable. His arc is one of the most intense transformations in the medium. While Kaneda represents raw action and instinct, Tetsuo embodies inner turmoil and hunger for control. These 2's rivalry and personal struggles drive much of the emotional core of Akira. Now on to my, criticisms of the story, which there's really not many, just mainly one. Overall, Akira moves with incredible momentum. It doesn't waste time, and yet it never feels rushed. That said, there's one thing that didn't quite work for me personally, and again, no spoilers here, but there are certain segments, particularly involving the military/navy elements, that sometimes felt a little disconnected. These parts would occasionally pop up in the middle of high-tension moments, and they could pull you out of it. They weren't bad, but compared to the rest of the series, they felt less urgent, and they were kind of annoying, to be honest. Still, when you consider the scope of the story and how much it accomplishes, this is a pretty minor critique in the grand scheme of things. Now with all that said, what is my final score? I'm giving Akira a solid 9 out of 10. It's an exciting read, packed with plenty of action, and it's honestly amazing. The stories, the characters, they elevate the story to something along the lines of legendary, to be honest. Love this. I read it in like 2 days, so I did quite enjoy it. Now, I would highly recommend this to just anybody who loves either dystopian or sci-fi. To be honest, you don't even have to be a fan of either of those to really enjoy the story. It is very, very well written. Like, I don't know how many of y'all have watched the movie for this, but it is completely different. Like, it is so much better than the movie. It's unbelievable. Not that the movie's bad. It's also very good in and of itself, but this manga is just, it's built different. So like if you like sci-fi dystopian stuff, go for it. I'd highly recommend this, at least when it comes to age. Probably like 14 up. There's not really anything too bad in here. Maybe even 13 and up. But yeah, it was amazing. I highly recommend this to just anybody.